I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers or anything, but am I the only person, Black African-American person, who remembers when anybody else who was a part of the African diaspora used to differentiate themselves from us? Like, oh, I'm not Black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not Black, I'm Haitian. I'm not Black, I'm Panamanian. But now it's like, bro, we're all Black.
It is xenophobic to sit here and tell a Black person that's not Black American that they're not Black. That's very xenophobic. Like, and it's crazy how I have to keep explaining this to people in the comments of those 2 videos. But no, we did not start jacking Black because it became a trend, guys. You gotta understand, when immigrants from those countries come here, they're told that Black here means you're Black American. In their country, they do not see color. You gotta understand, in those countries, I cannot speak for Afro-Latinos countries. I can't speak for the Black Panamanians. The Black Panamanians know they was always Black. In the Caribbean countries, those countries are literally majority Black. They are not minorities in their country. So you sitting here telling them in their face, you're not Black, when you can obviously see that they are, and they know that they are racially, but ethnically that they are wherever they're from is xenophobic as. And the fact that I have to even sit here and explain this and y'all not seeing it as being disrespectful is crazy to me. Like, come on now. Like, stop with the hate, stop with the violence. Like, at the end of the day, we all Black. Like, yeah, we from different backgrounds, you know, but at the end of the day, we're all Black. Stop with the bullshit. Like, once we understand each other, this whole war would end, because it's just stupid. It's really stupid.
Alright, so tell me why I was at the store. This guy comes up to me and he's just like, where you from? I tell him I'm African American, and he was just like, oh, where are your parents from? I tell him that my parents are from Ghana and Togo, and he was just like, oh, so you're just African. I'm like, no, I'm African American. And then I go, yeah, but if you want to say I'm African, like, I'm not gonna not claim it, but I was just born and raised here. That's why I classify myself as African American, right? He goes, oh, you Africans, you come from Africa, and you come to America and you claim that you're African American. You guys are taking the credit and taking the value off of Black Americans who were born and raised here. Question mark? So I'm like, I'm confused. Like, is there something against Africans? Like, hello? And he's just like, no, like, Africans who were born in America are still Africans. You shouldn't classify yourself as African American. And he said now he doesn't classify himself as African American because we classify ourselves as African American, if that makes sense. He's just like, he doesn't want to be a part of us, so he just classifies himself as Black American. So I guess that's what's happening now, y'all. Let me know if I'm wrong. Shoot, am I just African or am I African American? Like,
I'm gonna just air out all my frustration in this one video so I don't have to respond to comments anymore. But I feel like the xenophobia that Africans have been experiencing at the hand of African Americans have been going on for way too long. And if y'all memory is short and you want to come here and say that that never happened, let me remind y'all. Since 2022, and I can remember this vividly, I can remember making videos back when it was still pandemic times, defending Africans, because you guys were the same people that made it a trend to go to Nigerian shops, buy Nigerian food, label it as just African, like we're all a monolith, right? Label as just African food, spit it out on camera and say it tastes like dog food, it tastes disgusting, it's this, it's that, and it's that. And that trend has been coming back every other year. Y'all decide to bring back this trend of eating African food and spitting it out on camera and making disgusting comments about it. Let me not even go too far. Just last month, a lot of you were trying to band up together to boycott African shops in America, to the point that I seen a video of an African lady that owns a braiding shop crying on TikTok, begging y'all not to boycott her shop because that's how she keeps the lights on at night. And this was not a case-specific thing that you guys were boycotting a specific business that has been having problems for a while, or that has had bad customer service, or you've had a bad experience with this specific place. You guys wanted to boycott everything that had African in it, from food shops, down to braiding hair shops, down to corner shops, everything, because the xenophobia is just that strong. So many videos that I've seen of you guys calling us everything but a child of God. And now with this Tyler situation, y'all continue. And it's not even just South Africans that y'all talk about. Y'all talk about all Africans. And let me not even go too far. Just this year alone, the Zulu parade. Y'all remember that? Because I remember vividly seeing that, and it made me uncomfortable. And I'm not even Zulu. And it made me uncomfortable because it clearly looked like a caricature of someone else's culture. It clearly looked like a minstrel show. It literally looked like that. Down to the makeup, down to how dark the makeup was on the face, everything. It literally gave mockery. Nothing about that gave real, nothing about it. And understandably so, the actual Zulu people came to y'all and let y'all know that, hey, this is actually a mockery of our culture. What did you guys say and do in that exact moment? You told every single one of them that had something to say to what? Shut up. Why? Because it's been part of American culture for so long. This is how Americans do things. You can't come to America and tell New Orleans people that they can't do this, they can't do that, because we're Americans and this is our culture and you can't tell us what to do. But now that an African woman identifies as something that may not make sense to you because you're American and your racial construct system is completely different to the ones they have in South Africa. Now y'all want to say she's being disrespectful, she's being arrogant, but y'all was so arrogant and so disrespectful when the Zulu people came and said, hey, this is a mockery of our culture, the culture that we live and breathe every single day. Y'all are making fun of it by dressing up, by continuously doing these parades. It would be in the benefit of everybody if we didn't do this. What did y'all say? Oh, okay.
Y'all want to call Black Americans xenophobic when they want their own identity. In 2025, everybody's considered Black now. Everybody's Black. Everybody's Afro-Latina, Afro this, Afro that. But when it's time to talk about Black Americans, you're quick to say you're not a Black American until you want to be in the Black American club. It's crazy. Black Americans, we don't even have necessarily a word for our own culture that we can be proud of. That you can be Nigerian, you can be Jamaican, you could be Trinidadian, you can be whatever. It feels very much like we're allowed in your club, but you're not allowed in ours club. You asked for more Black American music to be played for Juneteenth, and there's this backlash like Juneteenth isn't a celebration about and for Black Americans. Juneteenth is about the release of slaves in America. When you go overseas, they're very vocal about making sure that you know that you are not one of them. They make sure that you are identified as American. Everything about you is Americanized. But then when you want a separation between the Black Americans and, the Black immigrants or, first generation or whatever, it's saying that we're xenophobic when it's no. I'm not being xenophobic, but just like you're allowed to put your little flags in your bio and you're allowed to have your own cultural things, you're allowed to have your own cultural food, I have mine too. The issue is you look at Black Americans like we lack culture, like we lack an identity, when our identity and our culture is one of the most replicated ones in the entire world. At the end of the day, I feel like it boils down to empathy. We need to start trying to understand the experiences and the reasonings and the things behind why people are saying what they're saying instead of automatically just being offended. Before just saying something is racist, before saying something is xenophobic, think about why these people are saying this. Why do you think Black Americans want to preserve their Black American identity? Why do you think that? Because think about how much work people of other nationalities put into preserving their cultures. We want to do the same.
How did TPS end and turn into an attack on Black Americans?
If Black America feels so comfortable, this is who it applies to. It's not all of y'all, but there's a lot of y'all in my comments disrespecting foreign Blacks, and I'm going to have to bring you back to reality. If you're doing so much better than foreign Blacks, and you don't want them in this country, why can't you fix the fact that you're still double-crossed in the penal system? I'll sit here and you holler about systemic oppression, left and right, every day we log in, but you want to do that to anybody who's foreign and Black? Wake up. You ain't better than us and you're not above us. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter if you're this kind of Black or that kind of Black. If they could have it their way, they wouldn't have none of us here. Then you want to blame and say Haitians and Latinos, they're taking your job. Haitians are Latino, by the way. But you say Latinos are taking your job. I'm confused at the identity crisis here.
My thing with y'all is, how is it our fault that TPS is being, taken away in September? That has nothing to do with us. And the people that you get in your comments that you claim aren't taking out of you, I'm not doubting the fact that there are some Black Americans in your comments coming at you. But when you make statements like this, it offends all Black Americans, not just some. It's not a hit dope holler type of situation. You're offending the majority of Black Americans when you say things like this. And then you're saying, oh, Black Americans said foreign people were taking our jobs. We never said that. Donald Trump said black jobs. We never said that. And the main issue is Donald Trump. You claim we don't see the vision, but you're not seeing it either. How did it come to black people bashing black people? I wish you'll stop making stupid ass videos like this. And then you're trying to teach somebody a lesson where you have a gotcha moment. There's no gotcha. You didn't get anybody. We're all got. Stop trying to act like you want to do kumbaya and then talk shit. That's not how that works. You clearly have some animosity towards Black Americans, and that's on you because Black Americans do not even think about y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, what? And then to say what you said here is like, girl, what? Like, I'm just trying to understand, like, what point are you trying to prove here? A Black American is not going to give a, especially if they're disrespected. No Black person wants to be disrespected. So you think you're going to say stuff like this and then get sympathy? No. Another one bites the dust. That's how it is. Respect is earned when it's given. There's no respect here. And people can see through that. Like, y'all really have to stop with this weird. Please.
All right, so we heard everything in that whole video, right? I just want to say this, and this is specifically for a lot of those folks out there who know that for the last many decades, that whenever Black Americans normally saw anybody else that we perceived to be Black, it was like, oh, yo, another Black man, how you doing? Da, da, da. And I did this before, right? When, again, like I told y'all before, when I was working at Whole Foods, worked around Dominicans, I was like, yo, I'm like, yo, it's great to see, a Black man in a position like this and, making moves and all this other type of stuff. He was like, no, it's like, I'm Dominican. And I'm like, oh, like, that's not, I'm okay. It's like, yo, shout out to you, being in this, position. And like I said before, I've gone through it because I perceived somebody else as being Black and they being them. Knowing where it is that they come from, they were like, no, I'm Dominican. I'm this. I'm that. I'm everything else but you. And now in 2025, we have all of these folks that have told us for many, many, many decades that me no Black, me no Black, me no Black. Now they're like, I'm Black. Since when? Because when we tried to tell y'all told us no. So now y'all like, okay, we're Black. No, you're not. They not stay exactly, start waving those flags. I need you to be who it is that you have always been. Don't try to sit up there and match in now in 2025 because now you got ice all over the place. Don't do that. That's being disingenuous. That's being a liar. Don't do that. No. Like I said, I done covered too many videos, especially of Africans sitting up there stating that whoever originally came from Africa, meaning Black Americans, we are so far removed, 500 plus years removed, that we can no longer be considered African. We are our own people. And that was a conversation that I showed off to people on the African continent, on African land, between African people, one African male and one African female. And this was the type of topic discussion that they were having out there in the public amongst their own people. So like I said before, miss me with all of that. I need everybody to be who it is that you know that you are. You had the young woman directly in the video talking about, oh, I'm Black American. No, you're not. Your bloodline comes from Africa. You can never at any moment in time tell me or anybody else that you are Black American. You are not. At most that you can sit up there and say, you can say that you are African American. You are an African in America. You can say that. You can never on your life sit up there and on your blood. You can never sit up there and say that you're Black American. Never. Because like I said before, it's a little bit confusing to me how groups out here want to say that Black Americans don't have a culture, but then they want to say that they're Black American. Huh? How that work? How that work? We don't have no culture, right? We didn't create nothing. We don't add nothing. We're just nothing, but yet we're something at the same time. Like I said, it's a baffling thing. It's quite a conundrum, right? But yet, even with all those things that they like to say, they were like, no, I'm Black American. No, you're not. No, you're not. And then you got the nerve. Going back to one of the other videos where a woman was talking in the car. She was like, it's xenophobic to tell the people that they're not black. No, it's not. No, it's not. Y'all been sitting up there telling us that you're not black for the longest time possible. Did we say that was xenophobic? Did we say that was anti-black? No, we didn't. We left it alone. So now, when we are like, all right, we're just going to circle the wagons, we're going to be amongst ourselves, and then we're going to consider ourselves what we normally consider ourselves, and then y'all can just be on your own side. You know, y'all got your culture, y'all got your languages, your tribes, traditions, rituals, whatever it is. Y'all got all of that directly to the side. Great, beautiful, awesome cultures for thousands of years, right? So why are you crossing the line and coming over here? No, stay exactly where it is that you said that you will always be at. Where you always said that your kids, your family, your grandmothers, right? He was like, I know where my ancestors come from. I know where my grandparents come from. I know the lands that we come from. And stay directly over there. Stay directly in that map, in that mind frame on that side. Stay directly there. Do not pass go. But for whatever reason, when things start getting a little bit too tight, now you want to start taking those flags out of your profile. Now you want to start talking differently. Now you want to start to really speak some Ebonics. You want to start talking with some slang and all this other. You want to start talking with a Black American type accent. Wow, it's real magical. That's real magical. Like I said before. And the other thing that kills me out here is that a lot of these folks out here, especially these Africans, they have a African accent because they're raised in an African household. They have an accent that they can cut on and off because if they had to be amongst their people, oh yeah, they could. Bam, they automatically got the accent directly there, right? Because that is the household that they were raised in the United States of America. Even though that they are here in America, that household is still African. It's not American, it is still African, where they speak their African languages, they do their African cultures, traditions, they got their religions, all of those things, right? And then, when they do outside of that, this is when they want to, blend in, right? They're not assimilating, they just blend in. Right? Like I said, it's crazy work out here, man. And it's crazy that we're still in 2025 and we're still having this topic. We're still having this conversation. This should no longer still be there's many other pressing things directly out here, in the sense that we should be worried about. I'm not sure why it is that you have Africans and many others directly out here that want to start running their mouths. And then last but not least, to that one woman, I just showed her off on this platform quite a few times. The one with the bonnet, with the glasses and the bull ring. It's crazy how they want to pull up to the scene and they always want to do the same thing that white people normally do because that's where they got it from. They didn't know anything else up until white people literally told them. She wanted to say in her comment section talking about Haitian men or whatnot, whatever, take care of, their kids. Basically to say that black men don't take care of kids. And I'm like, what are we even talking about? How did you even you're not even Black American. So how are you even talking about Black American men? Like I said before, man, this is when the waters start getting muddy like this is when you start to have a field of problems because you have people that think they should or can talk about another group even though they're not a part of it. This is the exact same thing that white people do when they have grown up around or they were around school-wise black folks. I'm gonna have a conversation dealing about black people. No, you're not. You better have a conversation about white people. You just because you done sat up there and been around us a few times or whatnot or whatever, went to school with us, that don't mean that you can just start opening up a platform and start specifically having conversations trying to dictate stuff directly to us. No, you can't. And it's the same thing for other groups directly out there. Mind your business and shut up. Because when we start going through stats of everybody's countries and looking at the different things that are going on around there, people don't got nothing to say. People don't got nothing to say at all. Like I said before, to that Haitian woman that wanted to sit up there, be worried about France. Be over there worried about those Europeans and trying to sit up and get some reparations, some form of money. Get out of that debt that they set up there and put you in after you done set up there and beat them in war. Like I said, you done beat them in war and then they done set up there and formulated a plan to keep you in debt. That is robbery. And then on top of that, the United States further that debt, due to the fact that there was supposed to be, what was that fundraiser Not with FEMA, but wasn't it like the Red Cross, where there was hundreds of millions of dollars that were supposed to be given over to the Haitians that were raised, where houses and things of that nature are supposed to be raised? But yeah, we didn't see any or where that money specifically went. Yeah, like I said, while y'all so busy, y'all got literally 2 areas of Europeans that done double crossed you, and you got the nerve to be talking about Black Americans? Like I said, and I'm just gonna be real, a lot of these folks out here, they can never survive on social media if it wasn't due to Black Americans. If they had to talk about another group of people and try to make any type of money to try to monetize their content, they would starve. It would be impossible for them to do it. Because better yet, they can't even survive making content about their own people. How about that one? Why everybody want to talk about, oh, their culture and their people are so great. And all right, then monetize a platform and make the same amount of money that you make it right now talking about your own people and yourself. Oops, won't do that though. Won't do that one. I've yet to see it. Like I said, I done been online enough times and I done seen people as far as from the UK, Africa, and where else. The moment in time they start having their own conversations, specifically dealing with them, crickets. Ain't nobody really tuning in. But the moment in time they start circling around or having the air around or specifically speaking on Black Americans, oh, magically all eyes on them. Magically everybody's tuning in. It's crazy how that works. Like I said, Black Americans got the Midas touch. Not sure about anybody else though. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.